let's do map 24. This was one of the few levels where I did need some help from watching in Calagon. Let's turn volume on. There we go. So, 1,658 monsters. Begin the level face first with the bruiser. Face up? Facing off? Facing off. It's pretty hard. Or scary, at least. The only secret is a soul sphere behind those revs, so basically the map doesn't have secrets. So now here's a bit of a hint for what this level has to offer. It's very dark, but there are a lot of monsters. And I tried my best. I looked in the editor, I asked around on Discord, obviously in the other order. There is no BFG. It's just, it doesn't exist on this level. I was so indecisive there. Then I remember that I had a Berserk. Did I have Berserk? Maybe I just went for it. I don't think no, I can't have Berserk. I don't have any items there. So here they are, the first of the specters. This map is all about specters. Except for one fight. So if you see me walking extremely cautiously, it's because, well, I've got a rocket launcher out. And we're trying to make things in fight, but also we have to deal with specters. So far, you know, this doesn't look too crazy. Though a lot of my runs did end in the first room, of course. Nothing crazy yet. Although, having 0 armor and fighting these spider demons is kind of sad. Especially since the map is small enough that, well, you really only have so many resources to collect. So you don't want to be taking any damage, realistically. Because then, when you're back here at the very end, you're not going to have medikits. But you also are pretty ammo deprived throughout, so infighting is pretty important. And for once, I really mean that. This might be the only NoSp2 level where ammo is tight. 40 damage. I don't know, it's just some cacos, nothing to worry about. And Calagon just runs past them, he's great. I guess map 14 can leave you low on ammo if you decide to not do infighting, but that's kind of like saying even in the worst case scenario, you'll still have just enough ammo to survive. So I don't think that really counts. It's a big decision here. Do I take that megasphere or not? Armor is not easy to come by. I'm trying to get them to infight, because I'm thinking, if the spider demon can attack these specters, and the specters go attack her, she might get stuck. It's a full spider demon I've gotten. Evidently not. Oh, here we go. Hopefully it'll work out. I don't know what I'm doing. Just grabbing Soul Sphere. Yeah, it spawns some things. It really is a commitment when you take the Soul Sphere, because I like ending the level in there, and having the Soul Sphere is so helpful, but I don't want to be fighting these guys without the extra health. especially since they're bruisers. Like, just a little bit of splash, you know, a rocket has 128 splash, so even if it hits the wall behind me, that's a lot of damage. And here are the bruisers, who of course, it's very hard to see in the darkness and the awkward angle. It's so uncomfortable fighting them. Yep, if I hadn't taken the Soul Sphere, it would be game over, because the Chain Gunner dealt over 100 damage to me. Mind you, the Chain Gunner is actually more accurate than I am, because he has no human error, you know. He only has the automatic bullet spread. This made me sad. It takes so many shells. Okay, so we got one of them, and then I just ran away. I was like, we're not going to survive if I just use up all my shells. You know, I have to run away and get lucky. They don't hit me on the way out. But this is it. Whatever loot we've gotten, those are all the weapons. No BFG. Okay, there's no BFG. That's it. What other guns do you want? There are 3 or 4 energy cell packs on that, which is why I'd been leaving it. You don't want to be picking up extras when with like overflow or whatever. Dude, I'm serious. I want as much plasma as I can for the next room. The next room is where I had to look up how to proceed from Encalagon. And he just has this genius idea, which we'll see in a bit. So, a lot of specters, like everywhere. A lot of revenants, a lot of bruisers. I don't actually take the exact route he does, but I do a similar idea. This is like the only route that I was able to get to work. It was still very rare that it would work, but this is the idea. You get into this particular spot, there's a little bit of wiggle room, but really you gotta be here. You wanna be at this sort of edge area, so pinkies can't attack you in that many directions, but the arachnotrons can see you, so they shoot the pinkies. That's the difference. Because a lot of times I'm thinking, oh, infighting, that's when one monster gets mad at another and they fight. No, infighting is just when they're dealing damage. So, you know, if you can get the arachnos to shoot you and you have a wall of specters to defend you, that's great. Thing is, you need to really time your escape. If you try escaping too early, you're just not going to. If you escape too late, you'll get pounded by plasma. So, you really gotta be careful. And then after that, it's mostly trying to get lucky with specters that I can't see. It's not like a YouTube thing. I can't see them at all. It's completely just sound and whether or not they're blocking. The map's really dark. That's why I'm just shooting plasma, because I know if I accidentally run into a specter, and you know, I shoot at the teleport spot. If I run into a specter when those arachnotrons are shooting at me, I will die. I don't have time for that. There's an argument to be made that I could have SSG out. SSG's not that reliable. You can't actually see the enemies. There's an argument to be made that I should be using rockets. It's not going to work. I'll blow myself up. Enemies teleport in these terrible ways around this arena, so they don't really fail to path well. I guess the idea is your Arachnotrons kill everything here. They kill the Spectres, mostly. Genius idea from the developer. So, this was so scary. I knew he was going to shoot, so I was like, oh, I need to like dodge that. But he was shooting at the Revenant, so I took a lot of damage from him. And now, I don't think there's any health left. This is it. I've got 58 health, and I need to deal with all of these guys. And I know if I get caught over here on a Spectre, the Bruisers are going to kill me. It's a really scary level, you know, it's so dark. I'm not a big fan of Spectres. I can't see them, so, you know. Now we do have the super chain gun, so that helps. Basically, we got just a little bit longer of having a continuous fire weapon, but it runs out real fast. So at this point, well, I'm not using rockets until I'm very confident the Spectres are dead, which means I run around for a long time, so I have to fast forward. I'm constantly listening for Spectres. Memorizing how many there are wouldn't really help because of that huge... Oh, there's a teleport. Of that huge buildup of Bruisers. Bear in mind, ammo is really not infinite on this map, which we'll see soon. So yeah. Look at all these Bruisers. I can't believe we had to do this with so little health. Did I say 58 before? I have 50. Maybe I took a little bit more damage, I don't know. It's just a lot, you know? And what this really means is you're losing out another 100 rockets. And yeah, it would have been nicer if I plasmid them, but you know what? If I had plasma at this point, it would have been because I blew myself up shooting rockets earlier. So, we teleport back to the beginning area, where you've noticed I've left a lot of rockets here, because this is where the final fight takes place. So, we get this interesting fight. It's kind of like the White Room in Spectrum, though significantly easier. The idea is you just go around and there's a crusher, but yeah. Main thing is you're trying to not get stuck and not get crushed. So here's footage of me getting both of those things happening. That switch on the side teleports me to the invuln at the top. Now, after a minute or two, the invuln comes down. So you really want to survive until that happens, because if you teleport up there, you're going to have a really hard time getting down. You know, infinite height stuff. I found it easier to try moving quickly with these crushers. It just seems to pace better with the monster movement and the crusher timing. I think it keeps the enemies a little more centralized. And you want to keep up with the crushers. They're pretty fast. And then the other thing to worry about is, well, don't blow yourself up. It's really bad. Ooh, you're gonna pay attention to what happens when I hit the switch. Just pay close attention there. Because there's a mistake I made, and I do it in like every run. I got to this room a few times, and I did it like every single time. Here we go. Yep. I shoot the rocket and then move. Why is that bad? Well, Doom Guy won't just pick up items that he teleports on. You need to move. So, get the invuln. We gotta grab some rockets on the way out, too. Because this fight is going to transition to the end fight, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think the door just opens, and then all of the enemies for the end fight are defeated. And you have to run away. And if you're running away, you don't have access to those rockets in the center. So it's not easy to survive in that. The bruisers are so scary. Like, that's why I'm running fast, really. And I've done pretty poorly with getting lots of rockets out. So this has been about as bad as this room's been. I never really die in the roundsies part. Okay, doors open, over. But I ended up using lots of resources. Oh, that was bad. That right there is probably why this level was so hard at the end. I picked up like 3 boxes of rockets by accident. I was expertly avoiding one, but then I ran into another like 3. So I wasted almost, 30 rockets there. And what does that mean? It means we're gonna have 30 fewer rockets than we want. And considering that there are another 150 enemies, some of whom are bruisers, and some of whom are pain elementals, we need all the ammo we can get. Rev missiles aren't too bad to dodge here, but they're still revenants. Still don't have a great wall. But here's the thing. Even if I hadn't taken those rockets earlier by accident, I would still have only 42 rockets right now. Like here, in this room. I can't just run through that hallway again. Not now. Not when there's so many monsters. Pain elementals and bruisers, it's not really where I want to be. So I'm doing my best to have the bruisers in fight, but at the end of the day, I need to preserve myself, and that means killing them. And hoping I pull off some magic as the level progresses. By now I'm out of plasma. My rocket supply is dwindling. No berserk. Just hoping I can make them in fight with the Barons. Got 30 rockets. Mind you, what's on the screen right now would take 26. Maybe 27. Bruisers don't take splash damage. Barons take 5 hits to kill. Pinkies take 1 or 2. There are 2 bruisers, a Baron, multiple Pinkies, and a Mank back there that I can see. There's no Berserk. I wouldn't want to Berserk a Bruiser. Somehow, we need more stuff. So, I have nothing. Super shotgun cannon, 1 shell. So, what I'm trying to do here is just pull all the monsters on this side. Not even get them to infight necessarily, but just if they're out of the hallway, I might have a chance. I might have a chance to get through. Also, remember, 9 out of 9 items, that's my armor. 19. That's it. I hold to the decision I'm making here. Just, I need to wait. I need to wait for the enemies to come out of that hallway. I can't run past them. Especially, you know, running past pinkies, they're huge. Running past revs, I'm gonna get tagged by a missile. Running past revs, but maybe you're just good enough to do it, well, you're gonna get exploded by a Cybruiser rocket. Can't dodge that. Not in a hallway that tight. Just doing what I can here. Being upset that I'm probably going to lose because I ran out. And then I just go. Realize I have some rockets, and now we can clean up. Though I do admit to doing the cleanup really slowly, and that's why. That's why right there. Because I don't want to get blown up by one of my own rockets. So I'm not going to waste your time. I'm just going to speed that up and be like, okay, we're doing the cleanup. It's really slow. Because yeah, any bruiser rocket, any self-damage off a Spectre or a Lost Soul would be game over. I only survive one Rev missile. Bruisers are so far away and in the dark, I can't even see their rockets. But getting past that hallway was really good. He has a height advantage, so I felt real uncomfortable. Alright, there we go. I didn't remember how to open the thing. This level was very unlike the others. To have such a massive enemy force, but focused on bruisers and specters most of the time. Bruisers were more of a supporting role, and specters would almost never show up. And for there to be no BFG, no backpack, it was a very different type of experience than we usually find in this set. A good map, but pretty frustrating, pretty unnerving. Okay. Next map's easy.